How's it going, guys? Extremist Models here, back at you with another video. In today's episode, I am going to be going over why I was away from YouTube for 5 months after I said I really wanted to post a lot. In today's video, I'm going to be covering several of the models that I've completed over the past few months, and a couple of current projects, some upcoming projects, stuff like that we'll go over, and I'll just give you guys sort of an in-depth review of the completed models on the desk behind me here, and a couple of models that you guys probably didn't expect to see on the channel, but they're going to be on the channel. Really happy with them and stuff like that. So without further ado, guys, we're going to get right on into this video. Alright guys, so we're going to get right on into this video. I'm going to try to condense this the best that I can because we do have a lot to go over, and I don't want you guys to have to sit here for an hour and a half while I ramble on about all of my models that I've done since I've been gone. So anyways, first up we have this 1934 Ford. This started out as an AMT kit. I think it was like a 2-in-1. You could build it one of two ways. You could either go for like the sort of hot roddy trophy winning truck, or you could go pretty much bone stock. And as you can tell, I chose option C, which is where you just sort of do your own thing. A lot of scratch building on this. The frame is 100% scratch built. It's built out of strip styrene, I think the company's called, 0.100 by 0.250, I think it is. Plastic styrene strip. The exoskeletal rear is made out of remaining sprue tree. The only thing left over from this kit, from, well, the original kit, is the cab, the floor pan, and the dash. Everything else is scratch built or from other kits. The resin fuel cell came from somebody on eBay. I can't remember, but these ain't very hard to find. The radiator is out of a Bigfoot monster truck. That's a 25th scale kit. The 4-link suspension in the rear is a Iceman Collections 4-link setup attached to a Ford 9-inch rear, and I believe I got from Ron Olson at Shapeways. The engine is out of a Revell 125th scale 2010 Shelby GT500. It is a supercharged V8, custom intake elbow, leads into the filter. The battery is down here behind the grill. The headers are from Shapeways. The wheels are off of a old die-cast car, and the tires and some of the suspension components came from leftover parts from a Tamiya Toyota GT race car. It's like I forget what it's called. It's some Le Mans prototype. But the majority of the front suspension, about 90% of the front suspension, is all scratch built. The airbags, of course, came from Iceman Collections, and it's got a scratch built steering stabilizer and stuff in it. So the interior uses bucket seats from Iceman Collections as well. You can't really see them all that good, and got a racing steering wheel in there and a couple other goodies, but other than that, also the brakes are from the same car that the wheels came from. But yeah, definitely a fun project. It's all plumbed, some fuel lines, radiator hoses run underneath the truck into the radiator back here. The inspiration from this build came from an episode of Build Biology where they had Stance Works old Ford truck, and it's very similar to this. And I decided, you know what, I like it, and I want to build one for myself out of plastic. So that's what I did. Went with Mr. Surfacer 1500 Black. a mixture of that, AK Interactive, I think it was polished aluminum or something, and AK's chipping fluid to arrive at this final look where the paint looks like it's chipped off. But other than that, it's a pretty simple layout. I wanted to make it look like something you'd take down to the track, put a few laps in, and load it up and go home. So I think it's a good looking model, and this is actually probably my favorite that I've ever built. So moving on to the next model. And this one's a wild one. This started out as an AMT 1925 Ford Model T, and you could build this one of three ways, I think it was. You could either build it as like an old hot rod, you could build it as a T-bucket stock, or you could build it as a coupe stock. And again, I basically chose option C with this one. Realized that I wanted something really wide, really low. I knew I wanted a big blower motor, so what I arrived at with this for the thought process, to build this, was to use a top fuel engine. So I purchased an old Revell top fuel dragster. I think it may have been the Castrol car or something. I can't remember which one it was. And I pulled the engine from that kit. Went to Shapeways, got the blower hat and the exhaust from Ron Olson, I believe, and used those on this car, along with a resin fuel cell that I got from the same person. I think I got the ones on the 34 Ford from. The front suspension is completely stock out of the kit, and the only other things left over from the original kit are the body, which I've chopped the top on, and parts of the floor pan, along with the dash. The rest of the car is completely scratch built or uses parts out of other kits. The trans is from an old Revell kit, I think. I can't remember what trans it is. Again, like the 34 Ford, this uses a 4-link airbag rear suspension with a built Ford 9-inch, basically. The tail lights are from a 63 Corvette kit. The seats are actually original inside the car as well, but they're slanted way back, so you get that stance in the interior. You had to kick the seats back anyway, or else they wouldn't really fit well underneath the roof. The steering wheel is not that far away from the bottom of the roof either. This thing would probably not be very good to drive if it were real. The tires and wheels are from a die-cast Big Time Muscle car, and as you can see, they're very, very wide, especially at the back. But that's what I wanted. That's the look I wanted to achieve. The brakes are also from a die-cast car, but I wanted to do something cool with this. I don't know why I did it, or if it would even be functional if it were real. Instead of one rotor and caliper per corner, this car actually uses 2 rotors and 2 calipers per corner. At the time, I thought it seemed like a good idea, and it looks kind of cool. The car's got 8 brake rotors, 8 calipers, and it looks pretty neat. It adds a nice, thick, aggressive look to the front of the car right here, especially because the wheel sits out away from the brakes as opposed to the back because they're so wide. But it's all plumbed. The dual magnetos I got from Scale Repros on eBay, I believe, and they're made out of metal. I don't know if that's aluminum or what. I'm pretty sure it's aluminum, but I got those off eBay as well. And the grill is from a 1932 Revell Ford, so pretty happy with how this thing turned out. Took a little while to get it down. I ended up ruining the first body. This thing's filthy, man. It's dirty. Anyways, I ended up ruining the first body with the paint. I tried out a new paint technique, and I didn't like it. Or a new clear coat technique, excuse me, and I didn't really like it. And I had to buy this body second, so ended up redoing the body and changed the rake of the roof a little bit on this one. I like this a little bit better. But overall, I'm really happy with how this one turned out as well. On to the next one, which is this. This is a big one. Okay, so where to even start with this thing? I had an idea for, if I get this camera adjusted, we'd be alright. Don't think it's going to get much better than that. Oof, there we go. There we go, that's better. I had this idea for an old military style, I don't even know what you would call this. It's like a cross between a giant military truck and like an off-road rescue vehicle / mud truck kind of thing. I really don't even know what I would call this. Let's see, where do we start? It has, I'll go ahead and take the hood off, actually, because I've got to turn this thing upside down so that you can see. I'll just sit that back off over there. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up, because there's a lot to cover with this thing. It uses 5-ton Rockwell axles, front and rear, from Shapeways. These came from Ron Olson. And they're mated to some SC4, I think it's SC four-wheel drive. It's the company that makes the little 1/24 scale axial RC cars. Basically, the suspension and tires and wheels on this are for an RC car. That's how big this truck is. And there's 2 coilovers per corner, so there's actually 8 shocks on this truck. It's all mated to a scratch-built frame. Again, this is out of styrene strip, but it's hollow. It's really thick. I'm not entirely sure what the size is on it. This truck has 4 tanks, 4 fuel tanks from a couple of Peterbilt 18-wheelers, I believe. Uses 4 batteries. The bed is 100% scratch built. It uses air compressors from Iceman Collections, I believe. We have Olsen Brothers bumpers, front and rear. There's the front one with a built-in winch. I actually took wire and wrapped around the winch so that it looks like actual winch wire. And the cab is a missing link 1973 through 79 F-Series cab, and it's been heavily modified to fit this engine. The engine is a Cummins V903 turbo diesel V8 with a turbo that I got from, again, Iceman Collections. I wanted a bigger turbo than stock, and it's also got a stack, a short stack. And that is hooked up to a Spicer 16-speed, I think it's a GB5 transmission. The engine and trans are scaled from Oslo, I think. I'm not really sure where they're based out of, but I got the engine and trans from eBay. The interior tub is out of a 78 AMT Firestone Ford kit. Had to have a giant transmission tunnel put in it to fit that massive transmission, so I ended up having to use bucket seats, and they are from a AMT 1994 Mustang, I think. And then we have the switches on the dash that, you know, you could say would control the air compressor and stuff like that. The bed is all scratch built, the frame scratch built. These wheels are bead locks from RC 4-wheel drive. the same company that makes the tires, I believe, and these are called mudslingers. In real life, these would probably be equivalent to like a 65 or a 66 inch tall tire. So this truck is extremely big. It's huge. And yeah, it was an awesome build. I'll get another look underneath it. It uses a drop box for a transfer case, like a monster truck, so it would be full-time four-wheel drive. The giant four-link suspension. Some of the four-link parts are from a mixture of Trailer Trash Customs and Iceman Collections. But yeah, anyway, it's painted in Tamiya olive drab, and I weathered with Tamiya's weathering powders. So, and the hood just sits right down on like so. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this model. And the next one is another kind of a crazier build of mine. This is a 1974 Ford F-350 dump truck, so to speak, and I just sort of ran wild with it. So we'll start out, take this hood off, and you'll notice first thing that there is a 5.9 liter Cummins, I think it's a 6BT in this truck with two batteries. Definitely another fun kit. I had a lot of the same experiences with this kit that I had with the 74 F750 that I just showed you guys, where this kit, or this build, needed a lot of scratch build work. The engine bay, just like on that truck, has had a lot of reconstruction done to it to fit this engine. Huge engine, and a bit of a smaller cab, to be honest with you. So again, we'll start from the bottom on this one like we did with the last truck. Like the last truck, this uses Rockwell axles, but they're not the 5-ton axles. They're 2.5 tons, because this is a smaller truck, but uses four-wheel disc brakes. Tracks are from Shapeways, and I think they came from King Toys, something. I can't remember his name. But you can find them on Shapeways. They're not cheap. They are pretty expensive, so be looking to, to fork out a little bit for them, but they are definitely worth the money. Good high quality track. You can get them in a couple different color plastic when you get them, so, and they're easy to work with. So the frame is from the frame and cab are from a 78 AMT, the Firestone Ford again. The bed was purchased from Scenes Unlimited, and it is a functioning dump bed. I don't have any of the hydraulic stuff hooked up or even made yet, but I'm going to go back later on and build the actuator and stuff that goes up to the bed so that it looks like it would be functional. The fuel tank is also from the AMT kit, air compressor. But yeah, this truck has I believe has the factory it has a factory bench seat in it. Everything in the interior is factory except for the shifter and the four-wheel drive selector, but the radiator is out of a GT500 kit, the same one that I butchered to get the engine for the 34 Ford truck that I just showed you earlier. And yeah, just another really fun build, finished in Tamiya Desert Yellow, I think, and I weathered with Tamiya weathering powder. Again, like the 74 F750, this truck uses the same bumpers at the front, uses the exact same bumper. It is a Olsen Brothers bumper. It's resin cast with winch. Also, this grill is not the original grill to this cab. This cab is a 78, which the 78 F-Series trucks all had square headlights.
I wanted this to be a 74, so I bought this resin grill on eBay as well, which gives you the 74 grill, and it looks awesome. Kind of impartial to this body style of truck, real sentimental. Also, there's a drop hitch on this truck, and that too came from Scenes Unlimited, where the bed was purchased. So yep, pretty fun truck. Oh, and the lift kit was was butchered from a, I think it's Revell, the big game 24th scale Chevrolet or GMC truck. I can't remember which one it is, but that's where the lift kit came from, and it's on pretty big lift blocks too, because I had to get the drop box to work. This is also a drop box, so it's pretty much full-time four-wheel drive. But anyways, there's that. And we're up to this. Let's put this back up here. This is a 1970 Ford F100. The kit is from Mobius Models. And I had to basically take two kits and make one kit out of this, because Mobius doesn't actually have a short wheelbase Ford in a four-wheel drive with a V8. All of their short wheelbase trucks, I believe, are the 240 inline 6 rear-wheel drive trucks. So what I did, my wife decided that she wanted me to build her a model. You know, she wanted the truck to look the way she wanted it, so this is what we come up with. And what I did was I took a 1970 or 71 Mobius short wheelbase kit, and bought a second 1970 F100, the 4x4 kit. That's a long wheelbase with the Ford 360 V8. And I took all of the four-wheel drive parts out of the long wheelbase kit and put them on this. Like the front and rear axles. The transfer case is out of the long wheelbase truck, and there's, you know, a couple other odds and ends. But the tires and wheels I bought from, I think, 3D Scale Parts, and they are a 35-inch Super Swamper Bogger wrapped around, I think, a 15-inch Krager, and I really love this tire and wheel. Even in real life, I've always loved this look. It's got a nice, meaty, old-school look to it. The lift kit, hold on to this thing so I don't break anything off. The lift kit is an airbag lift, 4-link airbag lift from Trailer Trash Customs. And yeah, not really much to say. Good quality lift kit, I think. I shaved a little bit off the airbags because I didn't want it to be overly tall. Let's see. The drive shafts had to be lengthened. They're actually made out of acrylic rod, the drive shafts are. The U-joints and stuff are the stock U-joints from the kit, but I did have to put longer drive shafts in because of the lift. And then I scratch built the steering bar at the front and stuff like that. So, and there's a resin fuel cell back here too, just for that little bit of added detail. The engine is, again, like I said, is a factory kit engine. It's out of the big V8 four-wheel drive truck, and it is a Ford 360 V8. And it's got a resin battery. Everything's all wired, and that's a metal distributor. It's all ran to the correct cylinders. The interior is bone stock. Don't know how well you're going to be able to see in there, but it's finished in tan and black. I think it goes really good with that blue. First time using Molotov chrome paint pens as well. And I really love how this one turned out. My wife was really happy with it too. So, and that's, you know, that's all I cared about was making her happy and doing a good job on it. So the last scratch built part of the truck is the exhaust, obviously, and the pipes that come off the back of the manifold and come into the custom H pipe are actually made from soldering wire. The rest of it's all made out of sprue. And then there's exhaust dumps on here that I got from Shapeways. So, and then we've got our brake rotors and calipers are also from, I think those are from Trailer Trash Customs. I can't remember. But yep, that's my wife's 1970 four-wheel drive F100 from Mobius Models. And now we're gonna get into one of my absolute favorite models I've ever built, because it's so different. All right, so we're gonna get started on this one. A lot going on with this truck as well. A lot more than you really, you know, see when you first look at it. So I had this idea a while back ago that I wanted to build a 50s four-door utility truck on the bigger tires and wheels that you've seen on the older 18-wheelers and semis. So I started with the bed. I got on eBay. I could have scratch built this bed, but I opted out of scratch building it because there were already good examples of the bed online. So I just kind of got lazy and bought this bed, and it's really awesome. It's an awesome bed. Love it. It is a scratch built styrene plastic bed that again, like I said, I got on eBay. It's even got the reading tailgate on the back of it, and started from there. And then I got to thinking, I was like, well, if I'm going to scratch build the frame, I need to scratch build the frame to fit the whatever suspension kit I'm going to use. So the axles, front and rear axles, are from, I'll just be real careful with this thing. The front and rear axles are from an AMT stake truck, another C600, and they are hooked up to a custom frame or scratch built frame out of the same styrene that I used on the 34 Ford. So I got the frame built and made sure that the bed was going to work lengthwise with it. So I started sourcing cabs, and I come to JimmyFlintstoneStudios.com. Awesome resin products. Love them. If you get a chance, get on there and buy some stuff. You won't regret it. There's quite a bit of cleanup with these, but once you get all the flashing, I guess it would be, off the inside of the windows, and you really clean up underneath, you've got a really nice product. And you will have to have a donor kit to finish it, because all they send you is the cab. And when they send it to you, when you go to buy it off their website, it tells you what donor kit you need to complete this cab. I kind of took some artistic liberties and went in another direction, but yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. So I bought the cab. It is a 1953 Ford COE, which is cab over engine. People believe that this is an F-Series truck, but it is not an F-Series truck. F-Series trucks used a lower cab with a regular length front clip, basically, where these fenders actually started up here past the door. The cab is actually over the engine. So this is a C-Series truck. I don't remember what year they started the C-Series trucks, but this is not a big job cab. This is a C-Series cab. And you know, like I said, what we ended up with was a 1953 C600. The engine is from an AMT 1953 Ford pickup, and it is a 239 cubic inch flathead V8. I didn't want anything going, you know, wild on this build. I wanted to sort of keep it error correct, or as error correct as I could. And like I said, it is a 239 cubic inch flathead V8. It's painted turquoise like you would have seen them on those trucks back in the day. I had to cut the fender liners and the firewall out of the existing AMT kit to put in this, and that really finished out the engine bay. The radiator, all that stuff is from that kit. The grill is from that kit. The bumper for the front is out of a 78 AMT Firestone truck, you know, because I got a bunch of those parts left over. The windshield wipers are from a Mobius F100. The reason why is that particular truck is getting turned into a drag truck, and we'll get into that way later. But let's see, the welding tanks are from the AMT 53 kit. The vise was bought on eBay. There's a toolbox back there in the bed, some, you know, spilled fluid in the bed and stuff like that, but the toolbox is, I think, another AMT product. It's got cab lights and horns from another Revell Peterbilt truck, I think it is. Let's see what else to cover. The tires and wheels are from Scenes Unlimited, and these are the just the old semi tires and wheels. I can't remember what the actual name, what he's got them listed under on the website, but they're pretty easy to find. You just give them a look. There is a drop hitch on this truck as well from Scenes Unlimited, and it's all the way down. I've got plans to maybe put a trailer behind this at some point for like a little scene or something. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but the interior, you're not going to be able to see it that well on this truck either. I took two complete interiors from two Revell Foose F100s, spliced them down the middle, joined them, made sure that they fit from the back of the cab to the front up here, along with the dash. I know that isn't completely correct, but it works. Put those together, used the bucket or the bench seats out of both of those for this truck, and, you know, put my seat belts and stuff in there. That's a photo etch seat belt kit. But I did use the steering wheel and steering column from the AMT kit, so pretty happy with how that turned out. The visors are up in there along with the rear view mirror. It's all completed, and I'm really happy with this truck. It's still one of my favorite models I think I've ever built, because it's so different. You don't normally see this, and yeah, definitely a fun build. We're gonna take this guy and move him out of the way and get to the next two, which are a bit different. Not something you're gonna expect to see on the channel, but they are here, and yeah, that's just part of the reason why I was gone. Not a lot to cover on either of the next two that I'm going to be showing you guys. It's Superman. What else can I say? This is a 1/6 scale Superman. It's all resin, like really thick, hard resin too, that I got from a vendor on eBay. Shipped out of China. Goes together pretty simple. Had to put putty around the arms where the arms join and stuff like that, but other than that, not a whole lot going on. Really took some artistic liberties with the paint. Used techniques that I learned building 48 scale airplanes in pre-shading, to start with an undertone and then marble in my pre-shade, and then sort of marble this blue on top, and then having to mask the S. Had to make a mask for the S on Superman's chest, and that was a a bit of a bear. But the base is finished in AK Interactive Extreme. I think it's steel is what I used. Obviously he's the man of steel, but then use the same pre-shading techniques for the cape. You can see all the color variations in it, the blacks, different shades of red. I left a little bit of white in the bottom where it would, you know, sort of be on the ground from time to time. But my first time painting skin tones and hair and whatever, you know, I think it turned out okay. I'm happy with it. But yep, that's gonna do it for Superman. Up next, this is the last of the completed ones over the last 5 months. Again, another big resin project from, I'm sure, a big Chinese company somewhere. I can't remember where this thing shipped from, but it's Captain America. Decided if I was going to have something from DC in my display case, you know, everybody knows that Marvel's better. That's just a fact. I decided that I needed something from Marvel, and if you're going to do Superman, you got to have Captain America in there because they are sort of one and the same as to what the character means. Always the good guy, going to do what's right by everybody, even if it means being a little bad from time to time. But definitely a fun build as well. A little bit harder to assemble than Superman. The base was in 4 different pieces. Got it all glued up, puttied a few areas, base coated it in black, went in and just dry brushed all these rocks. Every bit of this is dry brushed with sky gray and some different shades of brown. Not really complicated. It's all techniques that I picked up from watching, I think it's Mini Bricks YouTube channel. The uniform is finished to look similar to what you see him wearing in the MCU movies, especially towards the end of, I think it's the Winter Soldier, where he goes back to his original uniform, which has got the brown gloves and the chest straps, stuff like that. But had a fun time with the paint. Wow, this thing is dirty, man. Didn't feel like sanding on this resin shield to get rid of these little imperfections, and I did that for a purpose because it makes the shield look like it's took a little abuse. All this stuff looks like little dents and stuff inside the shield. And again, this was base coated with Mr. Surfacer 1500 black and then glossed with Tamiya. And then I used, I think it was AK Interactive titanium in here, and then clear coated with Tamiya's red transparent paint for this, and then the same with the blue here. But it's again another fun build, bit different. Had to work with skin tones again, and yeah, I had fun with it. Now we're going to get on to the last part of the video. A current project, which I don't know if I should even put this on YouTube because the person that I'm building it for may actually see this. I'm not sure. I'll scoot this into the frame. Okay, so this is a Revell Ford Bronco that I'm working on. It is, I believe this kit is modeled after like a 75 Bronco. The Bronco that I'm basing it on, I think, is a 67 Bronco. I could be wrong. But as you can see, the Bronco's already done. It's a Revell, like I said, it's the Revell Bronco kit. This isn't the Baja Bronco, but this is like the bone stock Bronco. Uses a 302 Ford V8, factory tires and wheels. The interior is finished just like the one that it's based on. It's all white and black. The rear seat is not in it. And yeah, it's, I mean, it's pretty much bone stock. There's really not a lot to go over with it. I am working on a sort of a diorama for this little base here, where I'm going to be adding in some like It's a vinyl mat that you get from Woodland Scenics, and it looks like desert sand. I'm going to be putting that down. These rocks are not actually rocks. This is hydrocal plaster, and it's also available by Woodland Scenics. And yeah, I just poured the mixture like it said on the container. Come to a mixture, and you know, made the rocks. Some of them I've painted. As you can see, the bottom of this one is not done. I probably won't do it because you're not going to see that part, but got to finish painting them up. I'm going to add a little bit of foliage to this, some extra rocks, just to give it some added realism, and then I'm going to take some Tamiya clear coat, some clear colors like the reds and oranges and yellows, and sort of just filter this whole thing before I put the Bronco on it, so that it all, you know, it's kind of got that matching look. The Bronco has been weathered using Tamiya weathering powders, and you know, just like the rest of them, I'm really happy with how this turned out. This is getting built for my wife's boss and her husband as an anniversary gift, and I can't wait to see their reaction when they get it. I know that they love Broncos. Eddie has one, and you know, Shay's been really good to my wife, so you know, we're gonna see how that goes, and I think they're gonna be really happy with it. So that is one of the current projects. Now this next one is a bit of an ambitious build. I haven't started it yet, but I've got the idea in my head for what I want to do. This is going to be going to the IPMS show in Atlanta, hopefully, if you know, the China virus doesn't shut us down, because all this crap's getting stirred back up again. But anyways, whew, where to start? What we have here is a 1928 Ford shell that I got again from Jimmy Flintstone. We're at the same place I got the shell for the cab for the 53C600 that I just built. And what I want to do is I want to slam this thing. I mean, it's just as low as I can get it. I wanted a big inline 18-wheeler engine, inline 6 with a giant transmission, and I wanted to use the same tracks that I've got on my 74 F350 dump truck model that I built. And I'm going to be using these 2.5-ton Rockwell axles. I'm going to attempt to cram all this together and be able to manage to make this thing all-wheel drive. Not sure how I'm going to pull it off, or if it's even going to be possible, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try the heck out of it, and I'm not going to stop until it's done. So we'll be looking forward to that one. It's gonna be a wild looking thing. I've got plans for the paint where I'm going to use AK's rust pigments and stuff. I'm really going to rust the crap out of this thing. Everything down to the engine and trans, I believe I'll throw some rust and stuff in there as well. The engine is a Cummins X15 turbo diesel, and I'm pretty sure it's from Oslo as well. I'm not 100% sure. This is the same Spicer 16-speed trans that I've got in the F750 model that I built, but you know, not a lot going on with this kit just yet. And you know, I'll keep you guys posted on it. You'll be able to see the build progress on my Instagram page, which is the same as my YouTube channel at Extremis Models. But yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on right now, guys. Again, you know, been really busy. I haven't been filming YouTube videos like I should have been, but yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this one. And you know, sorry this video is so long, but I wanted to give you guys sort of the lowdown on what I've got in the works. So yeah, we're gonna finish this video off here. I appreciate you guys watching. If you would, please subscribe, hit the notifications bell, like and comment, and share if you'd like, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care.